and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. It is time for El Clasico. It is Real Madrid against Barcelona, live from the Santiago Bernabeu this Saturday in La Liga, and it is a massive game for both clubs here coming into it. It is absolutely colossal. And coming up today, we're going to be hearing from both of the coaches, in particular, words from Hansi Flick ahead of his first Clasico. We're also going to be talking about the big decisions that he's got to make in terms of the lineup, particularly there looking at the midfield. And of course, we've got the predictions. That is all on the way for you. Lots to come and lots to be excited about. Let's do it. But first of all, guys, we have to start with Melvin. Because remember, before the Bayern game, he gave a super thanks there saying that if Barca win both of the games this week, he will finally talk to the girl that he likes. And my friend, we are halfway there. Get yourselves ready, because Barca have a chance this Saturday to seal the deal. Just call Hansi Flick the love doctor if we beat Real Madrid. It is going to be absolutely incredible. And guys, speaking of those feelings there, the euphoria, the excitement, the joy after beating Bayern Munich, the celebrations that we saw there with the players and the fans at the end of the game, it's absolutely incredible. And Flick there spoke about that in his press conference. He said you can feel that connection between the fans, between the players and between the team. He said you saw it on Wednesday night, and that's huge for us. He said, I love it. I loved seeing that. He was really passionate when talking about the Barca fans. He said, this is why we play football. This is why we give everything to win. And now we want to win El Clasico. He said, when you first start in football, you dream about the Clasico. And he said it's the real Clasico too, by the way. He said, you know, in Germany, we've got a version of it there. It's Bayern against Dortmund, but he said it's not the same as Barca versus Real Madrid. He said everybody is excited. The players have got to enjoy it, but to enjoy it, you must work hard. And we will do that. But of course, guys, both of these teams right here come into this game off the back of Champions League victories in midweek. Real Madrid there were victorious against Borussia Dortmund, coming back from 2-0 down in that game. And Barca, of course, well, we are on a high after that win against Bayern there. It was a big moment for us. We were tested. We were certainly put under pressure in that game at times. But we came out on top in a big way. But Flick was asked in the press conference there, what about the fact that you have one day less rest than Real Madrid? But Flick, in typical Flick style, there was no excuse. He said, we can't change that. Real Madrid played on Tuesday, we played on Wednesday. He said, we are capable of handling 2 days of rest, and we're going to have to do it again in the future anyway. He did not want to be drawn on that. He was not looking at all here for any excuses. We will be ready no matter what. Because indeed, guys, heading into this match right here, match day 11 in La Liga, and look at the position that Barca find themselves in right here. 27 points after 10 games. We are currently 3 points ahead of Real Madrid, and we've got the chance here, with a win, to extend that gap to 6. And that will be really significant, guys, early on in the season here, and away at Real Madrid. It would be a real statement. And if you're looking at the stats from the league season so far, I think we've been far superior in La Liga. I think actually that gap maybe doesn't represent the gulf between the two teams. Real Madrid have not really been able to hit the same kind of heights that we have, but they're only 3 points back. You know, we've scored more goals. We've scored 12 more goals here than Real Madrid this season, even if they do have a slightly better defensive record. But of course, guys, another side note coming into this game is the significance of this particular meeting, because Real Madrid currently in La Liga are on a 42 match unbeaten run, and with one more game unbeaten, they'd actually match Barca's record from 2017 to 18. This weekend will decide it. We can snap Real Madrid's unbeaten run, we can stay the record holders, but only with a win. However, guys, both coaches coming into the Clasico do have injury concerns. Of course, such is the footballing calendar. There are injuries all over the place right now, and Thibaut Courtois and Rodrigo are joining Dani Carvajal and David Alaba on Real Madrid's injury list. For Barca, of course, we're well aware of our injury issues. Ferran Torres and Eric Garcia are the latest casualties. They join Christensen, Araujo, ter Stegen, and, of course, Marc Bernal on the sidelines. And if we're looking
looking at the previous meetings, I mean, again, like we said in the build-up to Bayern, you don't want to, but you have to. You got to understand here what we're coming up against, what we're trying to rise up against. Real Madrid have beaten us in all 4 of the last meetings between the two clubs. And not only beaten us, by the way, guys, but you're looking at some of these results here. There's a lot of embarrassment there. There was a lot of humiliation. You're looking at the Super Cup defeat there, 4-1 back in January. Vinicius hat-trick. It was a terrible day for Barca. Inside of 40 minutes there, Vinny had a hat-trick. And we've got to put this right. We have to stand up here against Real Madrid. We have to hit back. We have to get ourselves in a winning position again. And can Hansi Flick be the man to orchestrate that? Because inevitably, in the build-up to this game, as we spoke about in detail yesterday in the tactical preview, there has been lots of talk about the potential of Hansi Flick's high line being used against Real Madrid. You know, will it work? Will it be effective? Can Real Madrid breach that high line with ease? And what are we going to see there in terms of that offside trap? Are Barca going to be able to step up and keep that line organised at all times? And Flick in his press conference there actually spoke in a lot of detail about the high line, about the offside trap, and about his way of playing. He said, it's our philosophy. He said the idea is that we want to press high, we want to put pressure on the ball, but he said we've got to make sure that we're close. We have to be very, very compact, because when there's too much space in between the lines, it's not good. He said we did that well at 1-1 in the Bayern game, but he said we have our ideas, and we're going to try and improve them, work on them. Every game we tried to do that, but he said if you look at Bayern, and with other teams that we faced in La Liga, they've also got fast players, like Real Madrid do with Vinicius. He said, I know we play against Real, they're a team with great players, but in the end, I have a big belief in my team. So there's no indication here that Hansi Flick will change, you know, his style, his philosophy, his way of seeing the game. There is no indication here that he's going to alter things just because it's Real Madrid. He said in the Bayern game, we struggled after scoring, and then Bayern equalised. But he said then we came back. And again, Flick was so impressed with the way the team handled that moment, handled that adversity. He said it's a huge sign for me. It shows the team believe in what they're doing, and it's absolutely key. He said everybody right now is playing for each other. They are running for each other, and this is the most important thing. We are locked in ahead of El Clasico, aren't we? However, guys, it may not only be Hansi Flick who has a plan for this game, because we also heard today from Real Madrid's Carlo Ancelotti, and I thought it was interesting, actually, to hear what he had to say about Barca's style, about the changes there that we've seen under Hansi Flick, and he said, I see personally that the philosophy at Barca has changed a bit. He said, I see Barca playing differently now, they're playing a lot more directly, and Ancelotti did say in his press conference there, I've got a plan for something tomorrow. You're going to see it, and then you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. So what is he planning to do there, Carlo Ancelotti? It sounds like it's something out of the ordinary. It's not something maybe that we expect in terms of the team. Is it going to be something going forward? Or more likely there, does he have a different kind of defensive plan for Barca? Are we going to see a few things tweaked to maybe try and stop the threat, for instance, of Raphinha? That's going to be something that Real Madrid are very, very concerned about, of course, but they've also got to worry about Lamine Yamal too. So it's important for Barca here to spread those threats, to make it difficult for Real Madrid to target areas of our team, make ourselves unpredictable, and again, as we're going to say, the number 10 at Barca, it's going to be crucial again for us. But this is the thing, guys, before we start to talk about individual players, about who could play, about who exactly would be suited to this kind of game, what I believe we will see in El Clasico is a game here of moments. That's truly what I believe. Because I said there in the tactical preview, I don't think we stop Madrid. I don't think we're going to stop them here getting chances. They're going to have opportunities to score, and they may well do. But I do believe we will have chances of our own. And I think this game in the end is going to come down to who is more clinical in front of goal. Against Bayern, we scored 4 goals from 4 shots on target. That is absolutely unbelievable finishing. If we produce that again, we win this game. It's as simple as that. If we are that clinical in front of goal, with the chances that we'll get, we win. But can we be? And I think it's also important here to look out for the timing of those goals there. Under Flick so far at Barca, we've seen a few times Barca scoring really early in games, putting ourselves ahead and then going on from there. We've also seen Barca scoring really important goals. It happened against Bayern just before half-time, and then again just after half-time. You know, scoring at these key moments it means more. It has more of a psychological effect on your opponent, and watch out for that, guys. It's a game of moments, and we have to ensure that we make the most of ours. And speaking indeed there about those influential players for Barca, let's talk here about Lamine Yamal, because Flick said it was a pleasure to watch Yamal's performance against Bayern, not only with the ball though, but without it too. He continues to improve his defending. He did excellent defensive work against Bayern, pressing Alphonso Davies. He has to continue in this way. And I thought that was an interesting quote there, because that is also going to be a very crucial area of the field there. Our right side, of course, Real Madrid's left side, we've got to put them under pressure. We have to make sure there that they don't get on top of us in that position. Real Madrid there are going to try and double up. Jules Koundé is going to have a massive game on Saturday. We're going to need Yamal and the midfield to help him at times, but we also want Real Madrid to be looking over their shoulder too, keeping them honest in that position. Don't give them license to roam. Don't give them freedom on that side to think they own it. We've got to take control and make sure we put them under maximum pressure. And also, though, Flick had words for Pau Kubasi. He said, we have a great team. We've got some exceptional players as well, like Lamine Yamal. But he said also, we've got to mention Pau Kubasi. He said how he played against Bayern at 17 years old. He said it's incredible, and we will need everybody at their best tomorrow. And Pau Kubasi at the heart of that defence, the leader that he is, the way that he can play out the back too, he's essential to our game, and we need him at his best here. But of course, guys, in terms of the starting lineup here, Hansi Flick does have some big decisions to make. And of course, lots of people are saying, is this the game for Frenkie de Jong? Is it going to be the time that we see him start in the Clasico? But again, listening to Frenkie de Jong today in an interview, I'm still just not convinced he's ready right now. He said, whether I'm in a position to start tomorrow, I don't know. He said, maybe. It depends on how I'm feeling these days. He said, against Sevilla, I would have started that game if it wasn't for the physical annoyance there. And he's also not been included in the Netherlands' provisional list for the Nations League games in November. That came out today. So still for me, he's not quite where he needs to be. In terms of games of this intensity, I'm not even sure he believes right now he is ready from the very start. But what about Dani Olmo? Because he came out as well in an interview today and said, I feel good, and the coach knows it. But he said it depends on the coach's decision as to whether I'm going to start. He said whether I play, though, as a starter or whether I come off the bench, I will work to give the best for the team. He said it's a really important game for us, and I know that whoever plays will be 100% ready. So Olmo there, he's in confident mood. He's saying, look, I'm ready to go. I feel good. Hansi Flick knows it. But it's up to him now as to whether I play. But for sure, at some point in this game, Olmo will be absolutely crucial. But what then about Fermin Lopez? Because Hansi Flick was asked in his press conference, have you decided about that number 10 role? Can you say that Fermin will play again in that position? But Flick wouldn't be drawn on that. He actually said, I haven't decided that yet. But he said Fermin was outstanding against Bayern. He was involved in 3 goals. The third goal there, he pressed to win the ball back. For the first goal, he said it was unbelievable how fast he decided to play the ball to Raphinha. He said he showed us exactly what we want from him. We are really, really happy with him. So Fermin here has put himself in the perfect position to play. Let me just say that. With the way that he played against Bayern, he's proven it. He's done it. Just a few days ago, he has said, look, put me in again. I am ready. Play me in the lineup. But will he be there? Because starting here from the back, of course we are going to see Iñaki Peña continue between the sticks there. Flick has put his faith in him, and as of right now, he has not let him down. It's another massive game for him with huge pressure where he does need to perform. We've got Koundé at right back, like I said, huge game for him as well, along with Pau Kubasi. Inigo Martinez is continuing his fine form, and Alejandro Balde, he was very good, very good against Bayern there, coming up against Olise. He shut him down. It was a good performance from Balde. Casado in midfield. We spoke about it in the tactical preview. He is vital for the defensive side of our team. Pedri is crucial going the other way there in our build-up and to get us out of those tight spaces. Yamal from the right. Raphinha, the match winner against Bayern on the left-hand side. But as you know, he is everywhere. And Robert Lewandowski leading the line again. But who's going to be that 10? Who should start in this game? In my opinion, it will be Fermin Lopez. And I think Flick here will start with exactly the same team that beat Bayern, almost a case of, if it's not broken, don't really fix it. We saw the effectiveness of Fermin against Bayern. We saw what he can do, certainly, from starting the game there. And again, you got the luxury, and it really is a luxury, of bringing Dani Olmo off the bench. We saw even against Bayern, he had a tremendous impact coming on, just as he did against Rayo when he started his Barca career and turned the game on its head. You've got that option. You can bring him on. He can affect the game from the bench in this one as he continues to make his return from injury, which means we'll line up unchanged and effectively look to pick up where we left off against Bayern. But in terms of the big match predictions, guys, coming into this game, again, it's double points. None of us got any points against Bayern, but we actually don't even care. It is 18-11 right now, the score. And in terms of the goal scorer, you are still sticking with Robert Lewandowski. He didn't quite score first against Bayern, but will he score first here in the Clasico? And I've got to be honest, guys, I'm actually going to go here for a crazy option. I'm not going to go with Lewandowski. I'm not even going to go with Raphinha. I'm going to say any other player. I think a player outside of those two could grab a goal. It could be Lamine. It could be their Fermin or Olmo, depending on who plays. It could be somebody deeper there, like Pedri, maybe even Marc Gasardo. Or could we score from a set piece? Keep an eye out for all of those players looking to pop up with a big goal. But then, of course, it's about the winning margin. And I have to say, it's unbelievable confidence here. Barca to win by 3+ goals at the Bernabeu. Nearly 50% of you opting there for that option. And I've got to be honest, guys, I don't know if it will be that convincing. You know, I would love to see it. I would absolutely dream of that kind of scoreline. Maybe even more, of course. But I'm going to go with something more narrow. I'm going to go here, Barca 3, Real Madrid 2. I think it's going to be a very open game. I think it's going to be end-to-end at times. And like I say, in the end, it'll come down to who is most clinical. Can we get the job done? Can we end Real Madrid's unbeaten streak in La Liga? And can we move 6 points clear? We are nearly there, guys. We are nearly at the moment when this incredible week will be decided. Let's make it ours. Let's make it special. And let's enjoy it all here, all together as one. I will catch you guys after the game for all of the reaction, and I hope again it's a party atmosphere. I want to thank each and every one of you for getting involved here, for leaving your thoughts, your predictions, and for all of the incredible energy. I will catch you all soon, and I hope you've enjoyed all of the build-up. But until next time, guys, as always, Vejka, El Barça.